Katie Hobbs is made to look foolish by CNN's Don Lemon when she's asked why she refused to debate Republican Kari Lake in Arizona's gubernatorial race. Why is Katie Hobbs hiding? What is she so scared of? And if her ideas are so good and Kari Lake's ideas are so bad, then why is Katie Hobbs absolutely terrified of the thought of a public debate? Could it be because she knows if she stood on the stage with Kari Lake that she'd be absolutely exposed? Welcome to Political Pop Culture, where the important and the not-so-important issues of the day are broken down, discussed, and occasionally even mocked and ridiculed. I am your host, JP, and this is my take. I saw this great story on redstate.com by Nick Arama, and he's pointing out something that I've been talking about on social media for quite a while now, and that is Katie Hobbs and her being absolutely petrified of the thought of having to debate Kari Lake in the Arizona gubernatorial race. Now I'm going to break down some things from the article, and then I'm going to show you the video of Katie Hobbs absolutely embarrassing herself. Make sure to stick around for that because you definitely do not want to miss this. Even Don Lemon calls out Katie Hobbs, leaves her stammering with a little truth. The Republican candidate for governor in Arizona, Kari Lake, has all kinds of talent when it comes to communicating with voters. It's one of the reasons she's so appealing as a candidate. She hasn't even won yet, and people are already talking about national office in the future because of that talent. Okay, right off the bat, that is 100% accurate. Even though polling is only showing Kari Lake leading Katie Hobbs by between 2 and 3 points, I am telling you right now that I believe Kari Lake wins this by 8+. Hell, she may win by double digits. All of the momentum is on Kari Lake's side. And Katie Hobbs has driven her campaign right off the cliff with her steadfast refusal not only to debate Kari Lake, but her refusal to answer why she refuses to debate Kari Lake. Her Democratic opponent, Katie Hobbs, is, unfortunately for the Democrats, the opposite case. She comes across as a bit of an immature 12-year-old girl. Her voice does her no favors. When she's pressed with questions, her constant petulant attitude, "How dare people ask me these questions?" that doesn't help either. While Lake exudes confidence, every time Hobbs opens her mouth, she sounds like she'd rather be anyplace else but answering questions. Again, 100% accurate.
Correctamundo.
Now, I'm not going to make fun of Katie Hobbs' voice, although she does sound a bit Valley girlish.
Barf me out. Gag me with a spoon.
But I will absolutely criticize the things that she says and the attitude with which she says them. Nick Arama is absolutely right when he says Katie Hobbs comes across as an immature 12-year-old girl. In fact, petulant child is the perfect way to describe how she comes across when she's asked questions that she doesn't want to answer. You know, now that I think about it, Katie Hobbs actually comes across as if she feels like she's entitled to be governor, and that anyone who questions that entitlement is just stupid. You know what else is stupid? Not clicking the like button. Seriously though, if you liked the video, do me a favor and click on the like button. Then, if you'd like, go ahead and hit subscribe and hit the notification bell too. That way, you'll be the first to know anytime we upload new content just like this. You'll also be helping the channel by telling the algorithm to show this video to more people who might be interested in seeing it. Every little bit really does help, so thank you. However, the thing that's been the big killer to Hobbs' campaign has been her refusal to debate. Even John Fetterman took part in a debate, despite all of his issues, albeit delaying it as long as he could so he could get more early votes in before people saw all those issues. It was a horrible decision, and likely will cost him the election, but Hobbs doesn't have his issues. She just seems afraid. Not a good look for someone who wants you to put your trust in them to run the state. If you follow me on Twitter, you've seen me not only asking that same question, but directly asking Katie Hobbs repeatedly, why are you afraid to debate Kari Lake? If you follow this channel, you know how I feel about John Fetterman, and if you haven't seen it yet, on the screen right now there's a link to my response to the John Fetterman debate with Mehmet Oz. You definitely should check that out if you haven't already seen it. Now Hobbs again comes across like she's just afraid. She comes across like she's scared to debate, and the perception is that the only way she feels that she can keep this election close is to just keep her mouth shut as much as possible, to avoid hard questions and avoid any journalists who might ask them. Even CNN's Don Lemon and his morning show panel put Hobbs on the spot when they had her on and asked her why she wasn't debating. She claimed she didn't want to elevate Lake's election denialism, except that's when CNN actually committed journalism and dropped the hammer on her, asking why she'd avoided debating her Democratic primary opponent as well.
Why not debate your opponent? If you believe your opponent is, has issues and is spreading conspiracy theories, about a stolen election and so on, and it's not being truthful with the people of Arizona, why then not get on the debate stage and debate her?
You know, not only is Kari Lake, has she centered her entire platform around this election denialism, I didn't want to give her a bigger stage to do that. But additionally, she has shown that she's not interested in having any kind of substantive conversation. She's only interested in creating a spectacle.
But
and I didn't
if
want to
you
be
were in the same space with her, wouldn't it be easier to knock it down in front of everyone, in front of the most people? Because you're not stopping her from spreading whatever you believe that she is spreading by not debating her. She can go on television, she can talk about it, she can go in front of the people of Arizona every single day and talk about it, but you're not confronting her on it. And it seems like it would be an easy fix if you stood up on a debate stage and confronted her about these issues.
Look, we're 6 days out from the election, and our campaign strategy is our campaign strategy. So we're moving forward. I'm continuing to make my case to the voters of Arizona. Whether or not we debated in this race is not going to decide this election. So, we made the decision, didn't want to be a part of her spectacle, and she's not, she won't answer these tough questions to real reporters. She only talks to fake news.
But Secretary, it's not just her that you won't debate. You also did not debate your Democratic primary opponent, Marco Lopez. Why? And have you ever?
I was miles ahead of him. I was miles ahead of him in the race and won handily. It's a totally different situation here.
Well, it's not debating your opponent again. Have you ever debated your opponent running for political office?
Yes, I have.
Why do you think it wasn't important for people to see a debate in this election for governor at all?
In the primary, I was focused on the general election. I was miles ahead of my opponent. I won handily. It wasn't an issue. We're 6 days from the election, and this is the decision we made. So
you heard it straight from Katie Hobbs herself. She can give all the non-answer answers she wants, but the fact of the matter is, she all but said right there on national television, "I'm afraid to debate Kari Lake." All Hobbs can say is, "This was our campaign decision. Our campaign strategy is our campaign strategy." She never does answer the question. Instead, she claims Lake wouldn't answer questions, when Lake has talked with all kinds of media. When they dropped the question about the primary opponent, Hobbs was left stammering. Most people want the opportunity to put their positions forward for the voters to see. If they don't want to do that, you know there's a problem. In addition to the fact that she doesn't think much of the voters, if she doesn't think they deserve to hear her positions in a debate. If she's not even willing to put herself out that much, why would voters think that she would listen to anything they had to say? And she doesn't seem to care about proffering her views to them. Katie Hobbs is, for all intents and purposes, taking a page from Joe Biden's hide in the basement as much as possible playbook. She will not appear anywhere but media that she thinks is going to be friendly to her, and she will literally run and hide from reporters if anybody asks her tough questions. I can't speak for anybody else, but I don't see how that behavior is indicative of somebody who's going to be a good, strong, competent, and confident leader. Frankly, if you're not able to debate your opponent, if you are not able to present your side of the issues, if you aren't able to tell the people why your ideas are better than your opponent's, I don't think you have any place being in elected office. Katie Hobbs has proven that she is unworthy of the office of governor of the state of Arizona. The people of Arizona are going to confirm that observation by electing Kari Lake on November 8th. That's my take. What's your take? You can let me know your take in the comments below. You can also let me know your take by joining the cult at PolPopCult on all major social media outlets. Thank you for listening.